I'm Dickon Pinner, a senior partner based out of our San Francisco office, and I co-lead McKinsey Sustainability globally. I think what makes this COP so different to previous ones is the centrality of the private sector. I think there are 2 or 3 reasons. One, the realization of the speed and scale that is required can't happen without the private sector mobilizing. 2, I think within the private sector, the realization that this transition will change the basis of competition across their companies, their industries and geographies. And 3, there's just a sense now that net zero is becoming the organizing principle for business. And we saw that earlier this week with Rishi Sunak's statement that all companies in the UK will have to come up with net zero plans and produce those. So this trend now and the centrality of the private sector, I think, is very clear. I think that the big news of this COP to some extent is around climate finance. I think what we saw with the announcements on GFANZ, for example, is how capital now has been amassed. That there is no doubt now that the capital is ready to sort of be deployed. Even in the last 18 months, that number of net zero aligned financial assets has gone from 5 trillion to 130 trillion. For a transition to happen that is just at the speed and scale that is required, the Global South will have to feel a part of this and not that it is happening to them. So for example, the richest 1% will probably have to reduce the energy and carbon intensity of their lives maybe by 20 to 30x, whereas the poorest 50% of the world may actually increase their energy and carbon intensity by 2 or 3 times. And that can actually still be done within the carbon budget that is remaining of 500 gigatons. But the level of planning and thoughtfulness that needs to happen for that to happen at the speed and scale is going to be considerable.